Welcome here tonight for the ACOG iRacing Silver Truck Series. Getting set to go green as we get set for tonight's event. Goodness gracious, we got a bunch of drivers here for tonight. This should be a absolutely hectic event. I'm nervous. Honestly, this is scary, seeing this many drivers here on the racetrack, so we'll just have to see on how it'll all turn out by the end of it. But until then, we will go over the points order and see on where everybody sits here for tonight. Justin Johnson, Miller, Ataconis, Menchu, Dudai ran at the top 5. Dudai actually is suspended coming in here for tonight after his actions on Wednesday. He'll be suspended for the rest of the week, so you won't see him out of the racetrack. Johnson, Sertage, Woody, Bundren, and Schultz round out the rest of the order. So with that, I mean, so many drivers here on the racetrack, a lot of points on the line, so this whole entire top 20 could implode, and we are gonna see a definite new points leader by the end of this, because I don't even know if Justin Johnson's not even here for tonight. So the man who was recently in victory lane at Atlanta is not present, and he is going to have a tough time to maybe crawl himself back from his points deficit, depending on how his situation will pan out. So we'll just have to see on how it all works. But in the midst of all of that, we will go ahead and pull up the grid. I mean, the field, and we have a fair amount of rookies here on the racetrack too. So we want to go ahead and highlight our rookie field momentarily, right after the qualifying, right after the national anthem. So. In the midst of all that, we will go ahead and scoot ourselves to the side. Thank you all for tuning here live on Maxspeedtv. We will go ahead and see it in about a moment. So rise up, remove your hats as we salute our nation's colors. Welcome back to the ACOG iRacing Silver Truck Series, getting set to go green just momentarily as the field pulls themselves forward and for tonight. Goodness gracious, I cannot wait to see on how this will all turn out. But in the midst of all the chaos, we will go ahead and pull in and see on where everybody is sitting on qualifying at the moment. So field works themselves around. And all in the midst of all of that, I mean, driver laps are going to be displayed here on the bottom side as the field roams itself through 3 and 4. I think we got a full field here for tonight. Yep, full field. 40 drivers will take the green flag at the Talladega Superspeedway. So a full, goodness gracious, full field. That's kind of scary. Now that said, only one driver currently not connected in the session. That's Benjamin Richards in the 101, who's one of our rookies here tonight. Anybody who has a R displayed right next to their name means they are a rookie. So, that means, I mean, my Discord just went insane. I'll try to get that fixed ASAP. Goodness gracious. I like when my Discord, you know, tries to fall off the face of the planet. That's fantastic. This is why, you know, TeamSpeak is the way to go. Yom. Drag that back here. Place it where I need it to be. But just give me a slight moment as I go ahead and get myself set up. But in the midst of all the chaos, I mean, qualifying being up and away, I'm very nervous on seeing how this race will pan out to be, especially when there is so much on the line here at the Talladega Superspeedway with this playoff format. I mean, with the points being so I wouldn't necessarily say scuffed. But with the points still so tight and a bunch of people showing up here tonight, a very valuable race on the line for everybody to go ahead and snag on points. So for all these drivers here on the racetrack, one job in mind: get points, finish inside the top 10 at least, and maybe have a shot at making that that window to the end. But in the midst of all that, Richard Sanchez is going to be our pole sitter here for tonight in that 229, one of our rookies. Anybody who's a rookie, again, is going to be displayed with a R right next to their name. And Eduardo Munoz Jr. currently displayed in 4th. Our highest non-rookie. No, never mind. That'll be Nicholas Budlimik. Budimlik. Alright, we will go over our starting grid here on the bottom of your screen. Congratulations and such to that man up front, Richard Sanchez Jr. picking up his first pole here tonight. Joe Thompson right alongside of him. Row number 2 going to be Nicholas Budimlik, Eduardo Munoz Jr. ACOG right along, ACOG veteran right alongside of him. Brad Havrilla, I think he's making his first start here tonight, that 301. I haven't recognized that name. Right alongside of him, that's Dylan Basin in the number 48, making, you know, a one-off start here tonight. He was last season's champion in the Gold Series. Matthew McDonald and Frank DeAngelis are at row number 4. Alejandro Montesoca will round out row number 5 alongside Marcus Vanderlee. The rest of the orders going to be displayed on your screen. Find your favorite driver. Hopefully you'll win. And my, oh my, we got a bunch of people here tonight. Just holy crap. It's been a while since we had, like, a giant field, so. Spencer Burns here on the racetrack. Glad to see him making a start. I know he's going to be the one to really make a challenge toward the front. Hess here tonight. Schmidt. Rupp. Schmidt just was Wednesday's winner, so he's looking to go back-to-back. All these drivers, all the way 1st to 40th, all have a chance to maybe make a name for themselves. So I'm scared. I'm scared. I don't like big fields. We'll just have to see on how this will all go. 40 drivers on here on the racetrack. How will this all crumble? How in the world will this all go? The world only knows. Field now rolls itself off here for the Talladega 101. ACOG iRacing Silver Truck Series, race number 7. Out of 12, about to go up in a way. Race analytics is going to be shown here on the left and right hand side of the screen. 2.66 miles around the racetrack, about 38 laps, so not a long race. 17:21 is going to be your pit window, so we will have to pit at least once during this event. Justin Johnson is not here. He's going to lose a lot of points in the lead. And that is unfortunate for our Atlanta winner. We'll go over our rookies. Here on the field, out on the racetrack, Richard Sanchez, one of the rookies, alongside Joe Thompson, Brad Havrilla, Matthew McDonald, Marcus Vanderlee here on the racetrack. That number 56 is going to be in 10th place. Daniel Buttafuoco, he's the 107. He's going to be in 13th spot by the looks of it. Let's go all the way back to Carchafari. Of course, known rookie, known championship contender at the moment in the Wednesday Bronze Series. Diego Roldan here on the racetrack. Timothy Cook making a return. He's going to be starting on pit road. As well as Ethan Moses making his first ever ACOG start here tonight. Benjamin Richards not on the racetrack. Fabio Lamana not on the racetrack. Scott Spanos also here. And Colby Petlinkar. I totally butchered that last name. I do apologize about that. I'm going to personally apologize to him after the race. Alright, the field and the combatants are set. 40 drivers will take it to the races with 38 laps on set for tonight. And how will this all go for that 229? We will just have to see as the field pulls themselves through turns. Tri-oval. I was about to call it the 5th turn, but the green flag drops and we're up and away here at Talladega. One out of 38 into the books. We go 3 by 3, about 5 rows deep. It's on the bottom side. Richard Sanchez leads the charge, but he has some company. The 027, Nathan Lyons was trying to make a charge on that 3rd lane. Does not make it work. He falls back momentarily, but up in the middle, that is Joe Thompson in the 021, trying to make a name for himself as he scoots himself through. He's getting a nice push here from the 48 of Dylan Basin in tow, but that outside line really starting to precipitate, and that's Nathan Lyons alongside Kiloa Hankins. I wouldn't say alongside, has a pusher, a really good pusher, Basin, who scoots himself to the high side. Never mind, that's actually 72 of Kiloa Hankins, but Basin scoots himself top side. He wants to lead the challenge. They're looking 4 wide already on lap number 3, but up front, that 229, Richard Sanchez, the man out of California, no, excuse me, Texas, will lead the charge coming into turn number 1. Looking 4 wide, down toward the back. 4 wide between Kiloa Hankins. He backs out of it. But goodness, a bit of a scare there between that 54 Mark Frimpong, who was around that area. But lap number 4, about to go into the books. The field files in and funnels into turn number 3. Some drivers are looking to scoot themselves toward the back, but work themselves into 3. Challenge is on for the front. It's a double wide. It's Basin and Lyons leading the charge, coming through the tri-oval. Oh, there you go! Big hit! Sir Toshmon in the wall. Miller gets in it. The caution flies, and already an early wreck. Gonna involve a fair amount of drivers. More wrecking on the backstretch, and a secondary incident is gonna involve, looks like Brad Havrilla and a couple of other drivers, but we expected it. Talladega is gonna bring out the worst of drivers, and a big wreck on lap number 4 is gonna bring us down to pace car speed. Look at it again. Looks like this one was caused by Frimpong. He's trying to push Sertaj, but hard into the wall goes Sertaj. He's done for. Eduardo Munoz Jr. was, looks like the 13 of Jace Nelson. Caused a secondary incident on the checkup. Was, ran over the 121. And unfortunately involved Brad Havrilla in that mess. The outside wall was a 50. I mean, 2 drivers are going to get a penalty off of that. And unfortunately for 2 of those people, Sertaj Mon, Eduardo Munoz Jr., they are out of tonight's event. Caution flag is out. Pit road is open. We will not be able to make it all the way to the end at the moment. We'll still at least have one more pit stop to go. So, fair amount of drivers going to get black flag due to the fact that we got a bunch of passing under yellow. First caution of the night. Pace car scoots itself around through turns 3 and 4. Alright, stack him double wide. Havrilla, the man who was involved in that incident, is actually going to be leading this thing to the green, so... I don't know how much damage he has. He might have repaired it all, but looks like he's decided to stay himself out, so... This is looking to be a bit of a mess, as the 301 of Havrilla tries to hold off with a damaged vehicle in first place, so... Havrilla... Me oh my, not looking good at the moment. And this is about to be a messy restart due to the fact that everybody right behind has hit pit road at least once. Go ahead and top off on fuel for the situation toward the end. At the moment, we only have 2 drivers out of the event, Sir Tajman being one of them. Looks like he hasn't actually disconnected. Fabriocco and Benjamin Richards did not log in a lap. Unfortunately, they have a bit of connection issues and will not be running a lap here tonight, but... Havrilla up front. Ataconis in P2. Budlemic, Sanchez, and Basin. And that top 5. Basin led a couple of laps. I mean, kind of led a couple of laps. Yeah, he actually did lead a couple of laps. I was right. That's like 2 so far, and he was running toward the front. First man who was on pit road. Excuse me, it was actually the 229. It's Sanchez, first driver on pit road. Or it might be line, it might be the 67. But regardless, top 2 decided to stay themselves out. Ataconis and Havrilla will lead the thing to the green flag for our first restart of the night here on race number 7, the Silver Truck Series. Set ourselves a sight on the green flag.
Green flag, green flag.
Havrilla decides to opt to the apron. Obviously, that damaged truck is damaged. And he's going to move himself out of harm's way. But that'll fan out the front 5 for trying to sneak up on the 39 of Ataconis. Toward the back, though, that middle portion of the pack is kind of fanned out. But toward the back is a whole different story as everybody's 3 and 4 wide. Getting themselves going up front, though, 3 wide. Up to the high side. I think that is the number 81. That's Garrett Hess being pushed by Miles Nelson. So 2 ACOG regulars gonna scoop that outside line to that 3rd place car of the Buttafuoco. He's making his first ever ACOG debut here tonight. Buttafuoco is actually obviously a very renowned iRacer, and he's looking for the lead for the first time in his ACOG career. Number 39 of Ataconis, though, still holding strong at the bottom. Buttafuoco is going to pick up that number 81 of Garrett Hess. Both those, of course, both those drivers know each other fairly well through another league I will not specify because I forgot the league name. They're going to precipitate that outside line and pull it forward, but the 221 Sanchez wants to deny it, but Buttafuoco says otherwise. He swings up to the high side, and here comes that 107 with that 81 of Garrett Hess. They'll split out the 229 into the dust as the 67 in 00 Miles Nelson. Budlemic, or looks like Budlemic's going to get left out to dry, and that outside lane is going to be left with one single truck. Drop itself out, but Buttafuoco and Hess, 1 and 2. You see that 107, he dropped himself all the way to the bottom line and cut out the 39 of Ataconis. Wide toward the front, about, let's see, 5, maybe 6 rows deep, all the way back to Hankins, who's trying to work up that 3rd lane. He can't really make something happen. Kind of 3 wide and shuffling around that position. Garrett Hess and Miles Nelson, though. That's something to say otherwise as they form up this outside lane. A bit of a pack split. As 9 seconds back, we got all sorts of traffic around where Burns and Munoz currently sit. Up around goes the 67, hard into another truck. The car slides into the middle portion of the field, but somehow nobody hits him. But a secondary wreck is going to be even bigger, and yet again involved in that is Miller. Yerk might be mad at the 19. We saw him a bit of post-race, post-caution contact. You see Yerk slam into the backside of the 19. Let's see what happened. I mean, first car side was, of course, the 67 of Budlimic. Honestly, not a lot of damage. Good job for everybody to avoid that 67, but they did not avoid the merge up. And looks like he just got ran over. Big checkup caused the 012 as Frank DeAngelis. Really nothing he could do as the outside line in hole checked up, and DeAngelis really tried to whip it to the high side, but ended up hitting the 67. Around goes DeAngelis, and you see the secondary wreck pull off as looks like Miller was trying to get to the bottom side of the racetrack, and unfortunately kind of got squeezed in with Yerk. Flips the 72 of Hankins. Around they go, and honestly, I think it's repairable for all those drivers, except post-caution, 1-6 of Yerk decides emotions got the better of him, and he decided to run into the back end of that 19 of Miller, right about there. And now, unfortunately for Yerk, he's done for. Parchafari, a bit of connection issues. He's rejoined the event. Currently listed in 29th place, but Nelson, Buttafuoco, and another Nelson is actually going to round out the top three. Jace will lead the charge. Everybody else has decided to top off on fuel, which is kind of an interesting scenario. Still 26 laps to go. All these drivers will not be able to make it on fuel. So we'll have to see if they could save as much fuel as they can. That fuel window runs around 21-ish laps.
Green flag, green flag.
Green flag drops, and the field gets bunched up big time. Chase Nelson slows the field to a go. They jam up 2, 3 wide toward the back. One car on the apron. Timothy Cook. That's not Timothy Cook. That's actually DeAngelis. Bason's going to elect to back off of it. We'll drag Liam Sheen to the bottom side. He's going to turn a driver. And the 229 goes around. He slides back up into the pack of Miles Nelson. Takes out a couple of other guys. One of them being, I think that's Jackson Menchu. And the other one, oh my goodness, big hit. And Nelson goes up in the air. He's done for. Goodness gracious me. And a big wreck on right off the restart is going to bring us down to pace car speed. Sheen, I mean, he made a cut to the inside, but really forced the issue. Sheen was definitely there as he made that move to the bottom side. Back under caution. We'll see 23 laps to go. That's close on the fuel window, honestly. If we go green from this point forward, it's not going to work out to their favor, but some drivers are going to elect to go on in. DeAngelis has decided he wants to top off. And, some drivers... double it up. But if Fuko and Sheen got Matsuzoka actually in 29, he's going to be starting in third. One of the rookies here on the racetrack. Not being displayed as a rookie due to the fact that his name is so long, he can't really fit the whole thing in. But Matsuzoka, has a bit of front end damage, unfortunately, off of that. Off of a couple of incidents. It seems as though he's... I'm not sure if he's going to be down on power. It's going to be very interesting to see on how that will work. It works him off a pit road, but... Fuko.
Green flag, green flag.
Lead the charge through 1 and 2. Big fan out the field, works themselves down the back. They fan out 3 wide, right up off the get-go. And it's Botafuku trying to hold the field off at bay. .35 trying to get split. Nearly got split through the middle. At Spencer Burns pushing him forward, but the 54 Frimpong actually was EOL'd off of an incident he caused earlier. Has now worked himself back to the front. Outside line, tries to precipitate, but it goes nowhere. That's Hankins. No, that's not Hankins. That's the 79 of Schmidt. He goes nowhere. Holy cow, the wreck in the back. Hard into the wall goes. That's Eduardo Muniz Jr. That's going to stay green, though. We're still racing around as one of those drivers looks like, is that Jafari? No, not necessarily. Oh, that's Scott Spanos out of it. Pack splits up big time after that incident. Midfield is going to bring 17 laps. Oh, Miller got home. It's Frimpong again. Smashes the 29 in the wall in the process. Take another look at it. Mark trying to split the middle. No room there, and Miller, unfortunately, the man to take the brunt of that. But I think the person who got the most damage was actually Matsuoka, so... Caution comes out, pit road's open, big, you know, big time for everybody to come on the pit road to make it all the way to this point forward. 13 laps to go. 23 cars left on the lead lap. Nunez and Eduardo. Boy, looking at all the cars on the lead lap, we got a fair amount of interesting guys. Thirteen laps to go. When we take the green flag, trying to brainstorm on how this will all work. I mean, it'll obviously work. So one of these 23 drivers will end up winning this event, but how will this all shape up to be? I'm trying to figure out. In terms of super speedway paralysis, I mean, Spencer Burns is up here. He could definitely cook up something by himself. He doesn't even need a teammate to make it work. But he might have the 107. Maybe assist him. Liam Sheen. Already, I wouldn't necessarily say he caused an incident, but he made an aggressive move to the low side under the 67. But I expect him to be a contender by the end of this. Field bunches itself up. Green flag drops. The driver to the apron automatically. He is off pace, but the field rolls themselves into turn number 1. It's Hankins versus Burns. One driver does not get going. That's the 503. Colby does not get a good restart. I don't know if he just didn't get a good launcher whatsoever, and the field just blows by. That 503 looking to split the middle. One of those drivers is getting squeezed. This is not working, but somehow it does. Oh, they're wrecking in the back. One car hard into the inside wall. Not really sure who it is, but we stay green regardless. Laps to go. Burns up front. No surprise to see that. He has a good pusher of Buttafuoco right behind him, and look at that outside line. That trio of Burns, Buttafuoco, and Sheen. Are absolutely on a tear. Burns is gonna throw some blocks. Here we go. No surprise to see that, but he opens up the door for Hankins on the low side. Hankins is not getting good pushes from Hess, though. Hess is not as aggressive as a pusher as Sheen. Versus Sheen, excuse me. That inside line, the shorter way around, will nose out that 72 just by a moment. He didn't lead the lap at the line, but that outside line is just way, way more tightly knit than that inside line. And it's all going to come down to timing as well. And how will Burns clear himself to the front? Seems as though not happening right now as William Schmidt in the 79 gets left out to dry. Roten's on the apron, not sure what he's doing. He taps it there, and it's going to slow down this inside line, who's kind of disconnected. This outside line is going to definitely have a huge run. Never mind, it disconnects. One car is going to shoot to the third lane, and that is the 027 Alliance. Nobody goes with him, though. And he gets left out to go to the back. But Burns, as I said, no surprise to see Liam Sheen right behind him at top two of Sheen and Burns are lighting this field on fire, but Burns is going to clear Hankins momentarily, but Hankins, front door opens up for him to take the lead, and Burns wants to elect for the middle line, but up on the high side by himself, here comes Nathan Lyons, has a huge push from the 107 of Buttafuoco, and they're still 3 wide as Hankins is kind of getting squeezed by Sheen. Even though there's 10 laps to go, big move there by the 37 of Bondurant. He squeezes himself right through the middle. Scoots himself behind a Sheen. Nine laps to go this time by. 3x3 up front. Bondurant. We're just going nowhere. They're still kind of 3 wide-ish. They're looking to come up on another lap car. That's Alejandro. Oh, she got hooked right into the 72. They fan out just about 5 wide. One of those drivers has to hit the apron. That's Frank DeAngelis. Goodness gracious. Dangerous merge back on the racetrack. Everybody keeps themselves straight, though. We stay green regardless. How in the world is there no caution? And it fans out it makes that 6 cars by themselves. Oh, Burns gets booted out of line. He goes onto the apron. They're 4 wide for the lead. They collide. The 027 gets into that driver on the inside. That's Buttafuoco. They fan out 4 wide again. Are you kidding me? How is nobody wrecked? There they go. Oh, big wreck. Hess does oh my goodness, hard hit into the outside wall. Hess hits the catch fence, and the caution finally flies. Sheen's involved. Lyons is in it. He's done for. Miller's done for. DeAngelis is done for after his luck runs out on the apron. And Garrett Hess, his night has just gone up in flames. Take a look at it again. Field has already fanned out because of those 20 billion incidents that we didn't have. And the field's fanned out. I mean, they're catching up on these top 6 in a hurry. They got a big draft down here. And it doesn't help that the whole entire front pack is going left, right, up, and down. They're 4 wide momentarily. The leaders collide. Lyons and Buttafuoco say, what in the world is going on? They go 4 wide again. Bondurant makes a good pass, but it's right about here that the 012 hooks that Lyons machine, and into the outside wall they go. Everybody in Hess takes a wild ride up into the wall. Go under caution again. No surprise to see a short race, I mean, filled to the brim with caution. I wouldn't necessarily say filled to the brim with caution. It's got 5 cautions so far in this 38-lap event. Ended off with 19 cars. No, I wouldn't say 19 cars on the lead lap. There's still drivers dropping out after that big incident. But man, it's left with I'd say 16 cars lead lap. It's like 17 on the lead lap at the moment. But not all these drivers are 100%. The only driver I see 100% at the moment is Buttafuoco, who was getting a door full of the 027 to Lyons. Lyons is out of that. Unfortunately, Lyons, he's gone. Burns, he seems to be the driver he's going to win this race. Burns is destined to win this race. If Burns does not win this race, I will burn my hands. I don't know. But Burns is... He's been the only driver really competent of working this aggressive field. He's been in this position before. He's run many fixed races, I'm pretty sure, throughout his whole entire iRacing career. And that 135 of Burns, my bet's on him. And it's kind of crazy to say that you're putting a bet on a super speedway, knowing how this thing will shape up to be. But he's the only driver at the moment who could just keep himself. He would just keep himself in this position. I mean, left with 18 cars on the lead lap, all the way to Brad Havrilla. Still have many drivers still on the grid. We're gonna hit a 4 to go restart by the looks of it. Drivers who are looking for their first win, you got Buttafuoco. Probably Pete Linkar, I'm not really sure. Pete Linkar in the 503. Oh boy, what is happening? Pete Linkar has just checked up the outside line. Had a couple people running into each other. His car will scoot itself left, and we will see the green flag this time by. And it's Buttafuoco and Burns, really the only top tier drivers who really control this hectic field right behind, but we got some drivers who can just maybe Maybe.
Green, green, green.
Make a name for themselves. Green flag. That 503 does not get going on the restart. He gets, you know, a handful of Schmidt, and they jam up right behind. They're already looking 3 wide. One of the drivers looking to the inside, but Colby, goodness gracious, horrible restart, and Schmidt just gets absolutely bottled, and they wreck because of it.
The yellow flag is out.
Up and over goes Eduardo Muniz Jr. This looks like I was more in the 12 of Hunter, who was trying to push his teammate, but oh gosh. I mean, I wasn't even a part of the check. Looks like Hunter just straight up turned down. No really fault of that, as the 12 everybody's kind of coasting at the moment to get themselves all the way to the end. So Burns is tight on fuel, but Fuco's probably tight on fuel. Everybody else is just kind of floating around at the moment. I don't think anybody's going to be on pit road this time by, except for like a couple of drivers to maybe just splash and go. I'll put now 16 drivers on the lead lap. Worried for the health of all these drivers. We'll see if we could get another restart. I mean, we'll see if we can get a clean restart off the drop. Green white checkered, so we're heading into overtime territory. This will be a bit interesting if we do see another caution, due to the fact that all these drivers are very close on fuel. So here we go. Botafuco speeds the field up, coming to the restart box. He's going to hit the green this time by green flag.
Green flag.
Up on the high side. Oh, they're already looking fan out as right through the middle goes the 79 Schmidt. Part of the 503 who hasn't been getting good restarts. They jam up right behind him yet again. That 503 goes nowhere. About 12 cars by themselves down the back straightaway. All in the midst of all that, Botafuco on the inside, getting pushed by Roten. They collide! It's Bondren into Botafuco. That middle opened up there momentarily, and Burns could have easily took it 3 wide. Decides not to. He's going to push the 37. And Roten, goodness gracious, he is railed on the yellow line. But they worked themselves off of 4. This time by, it looks like it's going to be 9 cars to settle it. From Botafuco all the way back to Schmidt, who's looking to way around. Bondren looking for his 3rd ever win. It's Botafuco looking for his 1st. White flag this time by. And it's Burns to maybe spoil the party. Maybe Roten could pick up his 1st win. They collide! There they go! But they fan out. No, never mind. Rolled on into the outside wall. Burns. It's Botafuco trying to hold off Bondren. And they're single file. This is not what Botafuco needs to see. Bondren into the outside wall. Botafuco decides to go ahead and drop down to the 66. Roten. And the 91 of Ryan Kwan has worked himself in the 4th spot. Out of nowhere. Botafuco gets the push though. He's in with Roten as Bondren tries to pinch off. They fan out. Here comes Kwan. Big push from Schmidt. Bondren, he doors Botafuco. Actually, that was the 66, but off across the line. They wreck, and here comes Kwan. He's gonna win it. Ryan Kwan. Are you kidding me? Again, it's Ryan Kwan. How many times has it been Ryan Kwan? A man who we have not talked about all night comes out of dead nowhere to steal it from the man who has absolutely shattered this race. And Ryan Kwan wins at Talladega. Are you kidding me? How many times has Ryan Kwan ended up in victory lane through at Talladega? That thing just set up for him. He got the push like he needed to. Schmidt and Kwan hooked up on that 3rd lane, and they swept by Botafuco, who unfortunately comes home 2nd. Roten in 3rd, Havrilla in 5th. Are you kidding me? Where did Havrilla come from? Schmidt in 3rd. Got Vanderlee, Hyder, Trafari, Bondren, and Johnson rounding at the top 10. Roldan, Pete Linker, Burns, Hankins, Cook round at the top 15. Frimpong and Spanos both laps down. DeAngelis, Budlamick, Montesilka round at the top 20. Everybody from 21st on down, all DNFs. Munoz, Sheen, Adiconis, Lyons, Hess, Miller, Moses, McDonald, Menshew, and Rupp. Got 2 Nelsons and Sanchez, Basin and Uric rounding out the top 35. McKinney, Sertage, Thompson, Lamanna, and Richards. Lamanna at 39 and 40th place did not start for tonight's event. Take a look at that final push coming into the checkered flag. Yet again. They kind of wrecked. Oh, they definitely did wreck. They did wreck, but this is right about here is what won Kwan the race, as Roten was doing all he could But right about there, Kwan's move to the high side off of turn number 4 won him this race. Bundren was kind of a sitting duck in the moment, and he gets taken 3 wide, but Schmidt was the better pusher versus Roten, and the field rolls themselves to the start-finish line, and at the stripe, Botafuco tries one last door to maybe upset Kwan, but it was too little too late, and Kwan crosses the start-finish line in first spot out of nowhere to win it at Dega. We'll be right back right after this. More to come after the Talladega event. We'll be right back right after this as we interview the top 3. Kwan, Botafuco, and Schmidt. Back here live at the ACOG iRacing League. We'll go ahead and interview the top 3 off of tonight. What a crazy race. I mean, I'm not surprised there's not a lot of cars finishing on the lead lap due to the fact that, I mean, it's just the nature of how these super speedway races goes. And into the booth goes our winner of tonight's event. The second Talladega win here tonight, and it's yet again the 91 of Ryan Kwan. Only led 1 lap, but it mattered the most. And all credit to that number 79 of Schmidt, who pulled off with you off of turn number 4. Kwan, unbelievable, man. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. What one hell of a race, man. Really up and down day all the way through. Thought my race was going to be over very early. Got completely piled through in the first wreck because somebody wasn't paying attention. But was very fortunate there at the end to avoid that big one in turns 1 and 2, and then get the help to win that race at the end.
Yes, sir. I mean, Kwan, you've been running, you've been close multiple times this I wouldn't say multiple times, but you've been close throughout the whole entire season, kept it close in terms of actual point standings as well. I mean, honestly, no, not really point standings. You were sitting outside of the top 10 coming in here for tonight, but this is a huge, of course, points boost to put you in that playoff window. So, for next week, a huge week as we cut off the top 10 for the playoff. Of course, what are you hoping for at Charlotte coming next week?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, obviously, a bit hard to kind of make races here with my schedule. I mean, obviously, sticking with school, kind of just showing up to whatever races I'm home for, this being one of those. So, probably won't be able to make the playoffs, but just kind of wanted to make an impact whenever I was here.
You definitely made one because you won here tonight. Ryan Kwan and that number 91 victorious. And I mean, walk me through that final lap.
Yeah, really thought I was in a decent position. The outside line had a pretty good amount of momentum the first couple corners there, and then obviously that wreck sparked in 1 and 2, and I kind of just hoped that I could avoid it. Got very close to getting clipped there at the end, but got the run down the back, found myself with some help behind, and just took the run that Spit had behind me, and basically just went on to win.
Yes, sir. You've won it over Buttafuoco, who is looking to go 1-1 here tonight. Congratulations, Quan. But before we let go, your sponsor, want to take care for tonight.
I'm still sponsorless, so nothing there.
All right, about 10 for Ryan Kwan, victorious here tonight at Talladega, yet again, here in the truck this time. We'll go ahead and see you next race.
Thank you.
All right, and it's going to be our P3 winner, P3 of Schmidt because Buttafuoco is not in the booth. Schmidt, you got a copy? Schmidt, this is Maxspeedtv up here in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you. I had push the talk on.
Schmidt, goodness gracious, that 79 beaten, bruised, battered, and shattered, but somehow P3, especially with that huge run off at that fourth corner. All credit to that number 91 of Ryan Kwan who pulled out to make that move happen. Walk me through that final lap.
Yeah, I think I was maybe about like 10th in line or so coming to the white. I saw them wrecking in turn 2 and thought that my race was over because I knew they were going to come flying back up, but somehow just barely missed them when they did, and somehow didn't get hit from guys coming up the track afterwards, and yeah, just kind of stuck behind the guys who were riding next to the wall down the backstretch. Got a massive run through 3 and 4, got up to the bumpers, and Quan made the move, and I figured if I tried to make it 4 wide there, it was just only going to kill everybody's momentum and whatever. So I figured it'd be better to push a guy to the win instead of costing people a win. So I kind of made the hard choice to just kind of give up my win and just push Quan all the way to the line.
You did so that number 79 will take up a P3, move himself up the point standings. Not really sure where you're sitting. I think you're not really sure where you're sitting, honestly, in point standings. But of course, big points day here for tonight. Coming for next week. Where are you hoping for?
I don't know if I will be there next week. I don't know what I have plans for when that comes around, but yeah, I mean, I'm not really too focused on a truck championship, but I don't know. If there's a race that interests me, I'll show up and hopefully do well there.
All right, about 10-4. William Schmidt rounds himself out P3. But before we let you go, your sponsor, want to take you here for tonight?
Yeah, same people and everything I want to thank from Wednesday. Big thank you to Coop and Schulte, my 2SKS co-owners. Can't see it on broadcast. I was rocking the Norm Benning G2G truck from Daytona, so I was able to get that a good run. And yeah, other than that, Norm Benning and Chris Fontaine, P3 and P4.
About 10-4. William Schmidt rounds himself out P3 here for tonight. We'll go ahead and see you come next race.
All right, thank you.
Screw ourselves back 1 spot, and one more driver we'll interview here for tonight. It's Roten in the number 66. Roten, you got copy?
Yes, sir.
Roten, top 5, man. Crazy race from start to finish, but you were you were in the midst of that fight for the win. You end up 4th though.
Yeah, I felt great all race. It's like Talladega's been treating me well this week. Very happy about that. Had that final restart and I just gave it my all. Tried to either push Buttafuoco. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. I'm sorry. I tried to push Chris to the. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Tried to push him up to the lead or make something work on my own, but just didn't have it at the end. Nowhere. I don't know where Ryan Kwan came from at the end. That was really impressive, but happy with the 4th place, back-to-back top 5s with ARCA last night and tonight. So just try to keep that momentum up.
Yes, sir. I mean, big points day, obviously, in that number 66. I'm not really sure where you're sitting in points at the moment, but I mean, what are you looking forward to? Your first truck start? Oh man, so
it's
never mind.
My first truck start of the season.
Yeah, so never mind of the question I was about to ask you there coming. So regardless, I mean, anything you taking off here for tonight? You can apply it to the next 2 for Saturday and Sunday.
Well, because last night I started up at the front and tried to make it work from there. Today I decided to start from the back, so I started like 36th, I want to say, but both seemed to work out. So I guess we'll just see how I'm feeling tomorrow and Sunday and hopefully try to keep this momentum going and finally get that elusive first win.
About 10-4. Nick Roten was 4 spots short, unfortunately, but he's getting closer and closer. Roten, congratulations, man. But before I let go, any sponsor I take care for tonight?
I want to thank, Glendon Enterprises on my number 66 Chris Fontaine tribute truck. Thanks to Nathan County for painting that one for me. Got to thank all my teammates once again, Supreme Motorsports, Hunter Up, Peter Kenny, Max Urick, all those guys. Thanks to the 13 truck for what a great pushing we were doing there at the end. But other than that, no, I'm good.
All right, but Nick Roten P4 after tonight. We'll go ahead and secure next race.
Yeah, see ya. Thank you.
That'll be it here for tonight. Congratulations, Ryan Kwan, P1 after leading only one lap of tonight. But before we let you go, thank you for tuning in here for the ACOG iRacing Silver Truck Series. We'll be back here yet again, Talladega, on Saturday and Sunday night. So can't wait to see y'all there. But until next time, my name is Zika Reyes. We'll see ya for tomorrow.